sing now. We'll sing heyo, 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 yo, hey, hey, yo, hey, hey, yo. We'll sing heyo, 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 yo, hey, hey, yo, hey, hey, yo. We'll sing heyo, 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 yo, hey, hey, yo, hey, yo. We'll just smile and wave and sing.
Heyo Niagara!
Heyo!
Rob Repo's coming to you. Heyo Niagara! Rob Repo's coming to you live from the 4680Q studios in Niagara Falls. We're live on Facebook and we are live on the air. I hope you're tuned in. If you have questions, answers, comments, suggestions, or you just want to tell us where to go, then tune in somewhere else. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Listen, we got a great show today. I met a new friend. The Boss.VIP is here, and she is an influencer. Let's call it a creator, content creator. And this is beauty of being live. See, that's why I love to do this.
Yeah. Everything's falling apart for us right now. It's like whatever, we're having Murphy's Law. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong. So bear with us. It's our first time meeting, and I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
It's amazing, and it's because we're live, things can happen. So let's get you to slide a little more over here.
You know what? I'm rolling down some kind of little hill here.
Yeah, well, it's an old studio, so,
all right.
sometimes.
So, yeah. All right, let me go. Let me get it. Whoa! Like I said, Murphy's Law.
And honestly,
hey guys, did I lose you there?
What we can do.
Oh, we're still live. Look at that.
Perfect.
That's a testament to a good phone. Wow.
The beauty. Seriously?
Yeah. So between phones falling and phones going, and hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to be here for an hour
or so.
46.
If they're in for going, who knows? The cops and the ambulance may be on the way already. The rescue squad. Let's try that again, because I can always, when I re-upload this to YouTube, I can always take all of that out.
Okay.
Well, might leave it in because it's always fun, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, welcome to the 4680Q studios in Niagara Falls. I'm excited to be here with you. I want to get a couple of things out of the way right away. First of all, Heyo Niagara, which airs every Thursday morning at 10:30 in the morning. We are sponsored by Peter Piper's Pub House and Font Hill Party Supply in Font Hill, located at 111 Highway 20 East. And you can go there for all your party needs and obviously for food, beverages, and live entertainment. So thank you guys so much. And my name is Rob Repos. I'm the host of the show. You can also find this. Some of the episodes are now being uploaded to YouTube. And there's a whole bunch of episodes on the website if you're watching or you're listening at home. Anyway, welcome to the studio, the Boss.VIP.
Oh, thank you so much, Rob. This is always a thrill to even do anything remotely like this, and I can't believe every opportunity I get. Thank you.
You're
really
welcome.
Appreciate you having me on. Hey guys, thank you so much. If you're watching down below, please ask any questions. We're going to be on for a while, and we're going to need some subject matter, and I do have some sheet notes that I brought.
You brought sheet notes?
I did, but just in case, because I'm not sure I can yap for an hour.
Let me tell you something. I was on the phone with you for probably more than an hour, talking about anything and everything, which is great, and we can do that on this show. So first thing I want to find out is where did you grow up? Where are you from originally?
Well, originally I feel weird because I'm trying to look at the camera, but still I don't want to turn my back to you.
That's okay.
We're sitting in a weird setup to make it
happen. Let's get you right.
All right, sorry.
That's better.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
No.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. I can see you. I'm watching the wavelengths on the.
No, you remember that old commercial? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
So you got me already.
Yeah. See, you got to be quick. That's why I'm the boss.
That's what kind of a show. That's what kind of a show this is going to be. Oh boy! Awesome. Yeah. So we're.
I'm gonna take it easy on you. It's too early.
No.
So
don't worry. Listen, I can give as good as I can get. So
okay.
don't you worry about me.
So we're here and we're going to talk about anything and everything. Is that the idea? I did bring my cheat notes just in case we didn't have something to talk about. But I doubt it.
I doubt it very much. I mean, the first thing, I have a couple of little notes that I made as well.
Oh yeah, he's got the real cheat sheets. Look at this is my cheat sheets, guys. Do you remember in school you used to try and cheat? So here's my cheat sheets, right? You're not going to be able to zoom in or anything, but remember when you were at school? I used to make my cheat sheets so small. And I'd tuck it in my hand, right? And, the teacher would walk by, and of course, you'd just do this. And so it was always so small, but I'd look, and I'd had a cheat sheet. I'm not going to lie.
I'll never forget, we were in a math test, and at that time, we had these rulers. And on the back of the ruler, there were, equations and stuff. Now, I didn't know it before we went into the test. And I'm in the test, and I'm, fiddling with the ruler, and I turn it over, and I go, uh-oh. Whoa, cool! So... Sorry, Mr. Martin, you're still around. Anyways.
Yeah, so you cheated too then, right?
A little bit.
I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. I know a lot of people cheat, but, it was in school, and I feel bad about it now, but I was more worried about my, my Trans Am and stuff, and just being with the cool kids and not falling behind, and needless to say, it panned out.
Yeah, it seems to be pretty good.
It was all right. Yeah, it was all right.
Awesome. Yeah, that's better. So listen, again, let's go back. Where were we? Oh, yes. Where are you from originally?
Originally, I'm from Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah, City Slicker.
When did you come down this way?
I came down about 14 years ago. About 14 years ago now, and was just looking for a complete change, and gave up my dream home in Toronto and came down and thought, what am I going to do when I get down here? And I was casting agent in Toronto, actually, and used to cast for film and television and do major feature films, TV series, things like that. And did that for a long time, including manage Russell Peters at one point before he became huge.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How is he? Do you still keep touch with him?
Oh, no. As soon as he left for LA with his brother, he kind of gave. It was another woman and myself who were in management with him. And he said to us, either you get me down to LA. We were getting him all kinds of shows in Toronto. Apparently wasn't good enough.
Right.
Hey, Russell, in case you're watching, or you get to hear this at some point, and we knew that he was going to be big. I had no doubt in my mind, but it was a matter of we couldn't up and leave everything behind for one talent when we were representing, 30 people at the time. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's pretty cool, though.
And then he became a multi-millionaire, and he forgot all about us. Yeah, no more, 20% there. It was gone.
20, eh? All right.
I think it was something like that. It was quite a while ago. We're talking, geez. Well, anyways, I don't want to date myself, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody else of note that you were managing at the time?
Well, we had a roster. When I was doing my own casting in Toronto, I had a casting agency, and it was 1,000 people or so were on my roster, and that was to fill in background talent and extras and things like that for feature films. So, you get Paramount Pictures come in, and it was funny. They were shooting scenes at one time. They wanted 200 punk rockers. All with mohawks and all this. And it's okay, we live in Toronto, and my office was near Queen Street West, and we could pretty much round up a good 20, 30 any given day, but 200 was a little excessive. And they're like, how many can you get us? I said, you know what? I'll see what I can do. And I ended up talking to one of the casting directors, another one, and he said, listen, we got to hit these clubs on Queen Street West. And if you know Toronto and Queen Street West, well... it's a little shady and it's a little crazy and all that, but we ended up hitting some underground nightclub, and it was all pitch black in there. Oh, thanks. I need an adjustment. Wouldn't be a first time.
All good.
So it was really cool. We ended up going into this club, and it was so dark, couldn't see anything, but all you could see was people slightly moving on the walls. And I was all freaked out, and I said, let's go for it. So I said, you take one side of the room, I'll take the other side of the room. And we started talking to them and saying, hey, would you like to be in a feature film? And they barely knew what we were saying half the time. So we didn't know what was going to happen. We gave them an address on a little piece of paper similar to this, and we said, show up here tomorrow. And I get a call from the casting director, and he's like, oh my God. He says, you're about to get a big bonus. I said, really? Why? He says, we have about 400 punk rockers down here right now. We don't know where they all came from, but this is so cool. The director's loving it. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then he goes, well, can you do hair and makeup? I said, hair and makeup? Yeah, can you do some of these faux hawks and everything? I was like, listen, that's a little much, don't you think? He goes, well, we'll pay you good if you can do it. So I went down there and they showed me how to do it and use the egg whites and all this stuff. And I just helped work on, hundreds of people it turned out to be The Matrix.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was like so cool. It was one of those moments where you think, can I pull this off? Can I pull this off? Needless to say, the production company tipped us off both well for a job well done. So,
nice.
Yeah, it was
nice.
One of those things you don't expect.
And so here you are now. You're in the Falls.
Yes.
You have a show or a group, actually, because, in fact, make sure we plug that for you, because it's called
Niagara Things To Do.
Niagara Things To Do. Go on Facebook, look it up, and it's on TikTok.
We're on Niagara Things To Do as well, live right now, guys. So,
Perfect.
This is so cool on Facebook groups.
Yeah.
And there's 14.7 thousand members right now. It's crazy.
Nice.
And, I never expected it to go like this. I was going to try and go live on TikTok as well, by the way, and the next phone here, I'm not able to get it set up, so I'm sorry for that. But listen, this is great. It's our first time, and I'm loving this. And,
absolutely.
You know what? When I went and I did another local radio station, which I mentioned to you, I was shaking so bad, but I'm more comfortable now.
That's nice. That makes me feel nice.
Yeah,
it makes me feel good. And we had a crazy start, but
you know what? It wasn't that. No, and it wasn't that the other DJ. And can I say names?
Yeah, of course you can.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
It wasn't that it was bad with Corey at all. He's very cool and laid back, of course, right? It was just me. It was all me. It was one of those things.
Let's talk food in the Falls. What's going on? Is there anything new and exciting and happening?
Oh gosh.
Where do you hang out, but where do you like to go for dinner?
Hey, I can't give all my secret places, and I do have VIPs, so I don't want to say all places, and I do have my favorites, and most of my favorites happen to just be little fast food places.
Not always the way.
To go. Yeah, I think so. I'd love to sit down and do some fine dining. By the way, if anybody wants to comp some fine dining, I'm all about it, and I will come and feature you. But to lay out a couple hundred for a meal right now, it's just, I don't know. I have a tough time with that.
Yeah.
You
can go out and have 10 meals.
And just a quick something and go. And I'm always on the go, and I'm always doing all kinds of stuff. I see if guys, because the phone is a distance, I see there's maybe some people in the comments. If you're saying anything, we'll try and pop up, and if you can catch that all and answer any of your questions, by the way.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know if you see them at all. So, getting back to food, and actually, my favorite food is Indian food. So,
really,
yes,
I would not have guessed that looking at you.
What would you guess?
I'm thinking like American, pub style, which I love.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah. Okay.
But okay, and I love Indian food as well.
Yeah, it must be the baseball cap. You're thinking I'm like a chicken wings and pizza kind of girl, and I am. I totally am. But at the same time, Indian is my favorite. I do love all the spices. Is this my water, by the way?
It is.
Oh, cool.
Go nuts.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Nostalgia, as they say in the whole night.
Cheers. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
That reminds me. Good morning, Mom. Good morning, Dad. Love you guys.
Hey, good morning, Mom. Good morning, fur babies. Good morning to everybody on there who might be watching us, or even if you watch us in the replay. Put it down in the comments. Are you watching live or are you watching in a replay? Because I'm sure we're both going to have this on our pages. And Yeah,
absolutely. And you know, if you have any questions or you want to throw something out there, just send a message. I'm watching the live stream on the computer here, so if you go to my personal page, just Rob Repos, and follow, you're watching it there, by all means, you can send me a text, you can send it through Messenger, you can send them to the boss, you can send them wherever you want.
If we don't answer now, we'll answer eventually.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to it.
But like I said, I can see in the monitors there is something going up, so not sure, what's being said. So the camera's a bit far from us. But guys, thanks for watching, and making our morning. This is so cool.
Absolutely.
I can't tell you. It's actually feeling better a bit now, and it's starting to get a little warmer out.
Yeah, it's funny because I was out shoveling the snow 2 days ago, and I saw a robin fly into the tree across the street, and I'm like, okay, well, it's January 23rd, and I know some of the birds, like I'm a bird guy.
Yeah.
And I know that there are some birds and robins that hang back during the winter as long as there's a food supply.
Right.
But I remember, years ago being so excited, waiting to see that first robin, the sign of spring and all that. Now it's like, okay, well, they're all around, they're here all the time.
Yeah.
And a couple weeks ago when it was really, really warm, there were actually turtles hatching from their nesting spots because they were getting all screwed up because of the weather.
Turtles hatching?
Turtles hatching.
Where do you live?
I live in Welland. Why?
I'm like,
you don't have turtles in Niagara Falls? You don't have turtles in Niagara Falls?
No, I'm having this. Well, I'm sure we do somewhere, but I don't see them.
Oh, well.
I think.
So, what happens is they lay the eggs. The moms lay the eggs in the fall,
right.
And what happens is once the weather starts to warm up, the eggs hatch and they come out and they look for the nearest point of water. Well, that was happening 2 weeks ago when it was really, really warm, and the turtles were getting all messed up. So, not sure. I mean, sure we lost some, but so anywhere around a wetland or streams, rivers, anything like that, you'll see turtles.
I know Heartland Forest has a turtle type sanctuary or reserve, and I always seen the few times I've been there is off season, so I've never got to actually see any turtles. But I'd love to see them and get there at the right time. And the only time I've seen turtles, to be honest, is when I'm on vacation somewhere else. So that's why I was like, where do you live to see turtles?
Well, that was an insight, and that's going to happen a lot. I can feel it now. Like we'll be on a subject, and we'll go over there, and then we'll be talking about something else. And what are we talking about?
You know what? Like we said, we'll be on for an hour. So, guys, if we're jumping all around, bear with us. First time we're meeting too, by the way, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, well, we talked on the phone for quite a bit.
Yeah. We had the pre-interview,
and make sure, there's an interest level on both our parts because, it's not easy also to come in and just sit down and talk about things live on the air and try to make it interesting. So
that is for sure. And you know what? I kind of have a phobia about this stuff, and people wouldn't think that, but I really do. I'm actually quite shy and introverted.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, no, I am. People don't believe it, but I really am. And before I started Niagara Things To Do, I wasn't even on the internet for 3 years. I took this. Well, I was with an ex who is now an ex, and he really wasn't comfortable with me being on the internet. So, I kind of stayed off the internet and just to keep everything level. And didn't go on for years. So as soon as we broke up, it was like game on, and I was so bored, and COVID was going on, and everybody was locked down, and I thought, what could I do? And I saw you mentioned food, so we kind of segued off of that, but I saw everyone posting their food. I'm like, what's with this food posting a picture of your sandwich? Or
Yeah. I'm guilty. I'll make a pizza, and if it comes out really good, you're getting a photo.
Yeah. Well, now it's a thing, right? Now it's a full foodie thing, and of course anybody who knows and follows me knows that, of course, I got into it and started doing a lot of foodie vlogging. And, it was great in many ways, lots of free pizza and stuff, but also put on a significant amount of weight, so that was the downfall of it.
That will happen when you're, I watch guys like Joe Joe Gonzalez, who does all these pizza reviews, and he's eating, you know, pizza every single day of his life. And I'm thinking, how are you keeping that, you know,
right,
fairly streamlined? He can use a haircut, Joe. I know I've seen it in your comments many times, but anyways,
it's one thing if you're working out, I guess, all the time and keeping a good, you know, physical regimen in between eating the pizza and burgers or whatever else. But if you're just eating pizza and then you sit around and you don't work it off in any way, that is going to definitely have its toll, and that's kind of what happened with me. Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, you don't just do just food, though, do you?
No, I do all kinds of stuff. I mean, basically what happens is when you're with Niagara Things To Do, it's free to be a member, of course, and join my group. That's why the numbers are large. But I also screen out all the fake accounts or, you know, bots and whatnot, and I actually have to creep every profile individually. And when I say creep, it means check out their background, make sure they're legit. Did they just start their profile? Do they have any history? So if I didn't do all that, the page would probably be up to, like, you know, 50,000, 60,000. There's that many fake accounts out there. And to make it safe for everybody, I try and screen out every single person that I think is a potential, you know, bot or newly created profile. And they do that so that they can jump into these big groups and then spam the members who are in the group. So I always try and, you know, sway obviously away from that and keep my group as safe as possible and away from spam and all this. I don't want to see, you know, 50 duck cleaning posts or job postings that you don't even know are real or anything. You know, of course, then you get some nude chicks in there who putting their pictures up like that too. So I got to try and keep it clean. I have a huge group. I try and I'm trying to play nice in the sandbox for everybody. And if you're not, then you got to go.
You got to go.
You know?
Yeah,
so.
I know. It is an epidemic because I manage 3 groups. And every morning I go on there and I do exactly what you just said. You have to do that because you know, you can go on everything may look like a regular profile. It might look normal, but when you click on it, you find out, well, there hasn't been a post on there for 3 years, for example.
Right.
And all of a sudden they're posting or want to get in the group, and you know, and I'll see stuff from like it'll all be in a weird foreign language or something. And you go open it up and you look, and you know, like you said, duck cleaning, or you know, I have this thing that helps my neck, and you don't need that on your group. And I'm really happy to see that you do that. And I don't blame you. And I know it's a lot of work as well. It's never ending journey.
If you didn't screen out that, you'd have so much more spam coming through the groups that it's out of control. Actually, at some points, it's almost like dating sites.
I don't know anything about that.
Okay, well, I'll give you a little segue. Of course, like I said, being single, then I segued into this. And, it's the same thing with dating sites. I think people got to watch. There's so many fake accounts, so many spammers on there. You know, you're seeing these good-looking guys, and you're a match. Oh, I'm a match with this hottie. And then all of a sudden, like, you know, a while back, and I scrolled down and looked to the bottom picture. He forgot to change his original picture. Let's just say he wasn't even the same person at all, remotely, same country, same anything. So I put that on my Facebook page to be cautious of that. So aside from group pages, whether it's group pages, dating pages, anything that involves large volume pages, the spam is incredible right now, including Instagram and all that. Anybody who posts on there, everyone goes like, are you on Instagram? Are you on Instagram? I mean, I look at the Instagram post, the top post, and then I also look at all the comments, and then you can see mostly spam. So when people say, why Facebook over Instagram, is because I find that there's a lot more serious people on Facebook, and I find that even though it's owned by the same, it's one and the same, the clientele and the demographic is totally different, and they're actually serious people who would engage and would talk with you and are interested in the products that you're showing, if you're showing any. I can't say, I'm not going to say Instagram doesn't create business or revenue for people. Obviously it does. But for me, I find that rather than have to go through more spam than necessary, I'll just stick with the few that I'm dealing with, which is Facebook and TikTok primarily right now.
There you go. And you know what? I want to give a shout out because I've got some people watching at home, and Billy Nastrovia, and Ken. Thank you so much. Looking good, Rob. That's got to be Laurie. That can't be Ken. And Billy's on there. Bill Shavo, Billy Bob. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. We're talking to the boss here, and so let's.
Let me take a quick peek there. See who's on there.
Yeah, sure. Go
Let me
ahead.
see, guys.
While
Hold
you're
on.
doing that,
Hey.
I want to just give a little. This is something that I read this morning, and I
Oh, it's so weird when you gotta come all the way up.
found. I know.
Hey, Lori, how's it going? All right, let's see, Timothy. Hey, Tim.
There you go. Hey guys,
Hauser. Do you
thanks
know
for
Tim?
tuning in.
Do you know Tim Hauser?
I don't.
You don't? Okay.
No, I'm just saying.
Hey.
Maybe someday I will know him.
Maybe you got to travel in same circles,
Yeah,
kind of thing.
of course.
Yeah, I got it.
And I do want to say that I'm starting to upload these videos and the podcasts to YouTube. So if you go to Rob Repos on YouTube, even if you just look up Heyo Niagara, it should come up because I put the tags in there. But make sure you subscribe to the station my channel because there's lots of stuff going on there, including an announcement that I have a little bit later. I read this morning that there are 5 school boards in Toronto. There's a solar eclipse coming up. I don't know if you're aware of that. Okay, so this is something that just a little tidbit of information. April 8th, total eclipse of the sun, and a solar eclipse. Sorry, and there are 5 school boards up in west of Toronto that have moved their PA days so that it falls on the 8th due to the possibility of dangers for the kids looking at the sun.
Wow.
I was going to ask you, what do you think about that?
I mean, it's not our first solar eclipse, and by the way, I do have my solar eclipse nails on with the moons and the stars and all that. You can't see that.
Okay.
Yeah, kind
Just
of.
so you know, I did not know that, and I just made this note this morning just to have a little filler.
You see the little moon and the stars and the shooting rockets? Yeah. Well, I have a thing for Elon Musk. Everybody who knows me knows that. So, yeah.
Well, I don't know why.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
People laugh sometimes at it and say, Elon, really? Yeah.
Got a few bucks.
I mean, there's many people out there who got a few bucks, right? It's not just about the bucks. It's something about, hey, hashtag Elon Musk. He's, I like him. I like his mind. There's so many theories and conspiracies out there, of course, on Elon and stuff, but...
Didn't he reply to one of your messages or something? Was that you?
I have about 40 Elon requests on TikTok, so you never know who Elon is. I have about 25 Johnny Depps, 40 Elons, Gerard Butler, I get all these. So you going back to the whole spam thing, it's hard to tell anymore, and it's funny because if you are getting 50 Elon replies, how do you know Elon isn't one of those guys?
Yeah, true.
You don't know, right? There's so many. It's like, well, maybe that is him, and he's just kind of, shading behind one of these fake accounts, or looks to be a fake account.
Yeah.
But it's really him sitting there at SpaceX and, and texting you or with one of his Padres. How do you know? How do you know? I just wish. Just wishful thinking.
That's exactly. And hey, Timmy. Again, we got.
What do I think about that? What about back to school?
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, right.
It's not
the first one. It's not the first solar eclipse. So to do that for to protect their eyes. I mean, I think back in the day they used to give them things and tell them how to go look at it properly.
We used to do that.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I don't think we ever had the day off for a solar eclipse. No. Maybe it wasn't a total eclipse. Maybe it wasn't.
Was it a total eclipse of the heart?
Total eclipse? Maybe.
I mean, I'm not on a radio thing. I gotta go a little.
You have to. Don't get me started, because that's one of my wife's pet peeves on me is she'll say something and I'll be singing a song I'll make a, you know, it's
Yeah.
either a song or a Seinfeld episode, you know what I mean?
We should try that. We'll try that for like 2 minutes and see who can out-song each other.
Out-song each other?
Well, you're into music, so you're gonna have me beat probably.
So,
but...
don't jump to conclusions, because I don't listen to a lot of radio.
Oh, okay.
You know, you might. I have Brandy Ford on my show, and we do this little thing. We do, you know, make me laugh type of thing, where you say dumb dad jokes or something, and you're not allowed to laugh. And then if you do laugh, I get so many points. Well, she's a comedian.
Yeah.
I beat her at the comedy, and she beats me at the music. So when she, I think she does that on purpose, like the music one, because I don't listen to the radio. You know, if I'm in the van, I might have classic rock on, but, you know, if you go onto Spotify and listen to the top 20 or top 30 Canadian songs right now, there's not too many there that I can actually listen to.
What's your go-to CD in your car right now?
CD? Wow.
Oops. Holy, stop dating myself.
Wow.
Well, okay. MP3?
If I'm going to listen to the radio, or if I'm going to put some music on, I'm a huge Rush fan.
Okay.
So it'll be Rush, it'll be Genesis. I might listen to some Yes, or then I also will go into more local stuff, like you know, Davis Hall, the Green Lanterns, Jim Casson. There's a whole bunch of great local artists that I've got a playlist that I can just put on, and away we go. So I will do that as well.
Well, one of my posts actually was, if you were stranded on an island for a month and could only bring one CD, what CD would that be?
2112.
Okay, cool.
Simple
You
enough.
could listen to it over and over for a month.
Oh yeah, easily.
There's a question for you guys. If you were on an island and you could only bring one CD with you for a month, which one would it be? You know, you often wonder, it would be sort of like some sort of human torture where you're listening to the same, you know, CD over and over, but there's got to be one out there that you could possibly live with.
I know some that I wouldn't be able to live with, that's for sure.
There you go.
There's numbers of those. Like, I could not just have an Eagles album playing forever.
Okay.
There's just no way. I couldn't do it. I love the Eagles, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I play a couple Eagles tunes in my sets, but to sit there and, no, I couldn't do it. It's just too repetitive for me. That's one.
Yeah.
What about you? Did you give me the first one? Did you give me the one that you would want to have with you?
That you would want, yes. Yeah, that you would.
Yeah, 2112. But did you give me yours?
You know what? You'd probably laugh. I don't know. It'd probably be something like Ricky Martin.
Well, you're right. Why would you come up with that?
Well, you know, I like his fast stuff. I like his slow stuff. I think I could work it in for a month, you know, and it would get me motivated and work out a bit. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it'd probably be that. If I had to go through a month's worth, it'd be a tough decision.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who am I to judge? And what about what's one that you would not?
Oh gosh, anything punk rock. I think that would torture me, you know, or hard heavy metal, like
the death
breaking
metal.
breaking the law, like something like that. If I was in a situation like that, I'd lose my mind. I'd probably just jump in the ocean.
Yeah, get it over with.
Yeah.
You know, is that a shark? Okay.
Like, I'm not waiting for Gilligan. Forget it. Just take me out.
That's great. So yeah, we were on the subject of solar eclipse, but I think we covered that.
Yeah, I mean, where are you going with that? Are you?
I don't understand. I think it should be a learning experience. I think they should be using it as a learning experience. There are ways to do it safely, and it only lasts for a short period of time. It's not like you need the whole day. So, you know, make it a learning experience for the kids. Why not? You know, I mean, that's my opinion. Make it a learning experience.
I mean, not to say that they're not going to go home and try and look at it themselves from seeing on the internet that it's going to happen.
Probably
So
safer at school.
they'll be in their backyards checking it out anyway. Sorry, Joey can't get to school tomorrow because he was in the backyard yesterday looking at the solar eclipse and then wearing his glasses.
Jeez. Imagine that. Wow.
I don't know. It's so weird, right? I mean, I think we're becoming a delicate world.
Oh my gosh.
You know?
Let's talk Aunt Jemima. What the hell? What happened to Aunt Jemima?
I don't know, and you know what? If you hear the whole history on that, Aunt Jemima, there was a whole write-up on Facebook about it, and it's so sad because she actually did help everybody, and people loved her. And
I know
that there's a whole thing about brand recognition. So.
Oh, yeah, nice hat, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. You like that, eh?
Mm-hmm.
I wear it, and people say, "Where can I get the hat?"
I was just going to say, where can people get it?
I don't sell them. I'm not a swag seller. I probably should be. Yeah, no, I haven't gone the full-fledged of what these influencers do and how they put a link up to selling this product or that product, or I haven't been doing anything like that. And my way of doing it is through my VIPs on the page. They're basically my sponsors. So if you see someone on my page and it says that they're a VIP or I introduce them as a VIP member, that means that they've backed me. And all my VIPs, yes, you pay to get on my page to be advertised in front of 14,000 people. Facebook Analytics shows me that I actually get 30 to 50,000 views a month on my page.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of traction. And when you don't have Niagara This Week or local paper anymore to do advertising, and you have to start thinking of alternative ways to get your company out there, your business out there. You got to be seen. If you're not on social media, you're lost.
Yeah.
It's game over. And as I say, I just got back into all this a couple of years ago, and to find out that this is it, and people are influencers, and I didn't even know what that meant. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And then I start my page, and I walked into a very reputable establishment here in town, and they said, "Oh, influencers over here to the right. What do you need from us?" I was like, "What? Oh, I just want one ticket."
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, you sure you don't want a pair?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually I do," and
nice.
Kind of segued from there, but I didn't realize how serious people took these influencers or people who are doing this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's key whether you follow the person or you like what they do or how they deliver their message. The point is your product is being seen by these people. It's being seen on the page. It's being seen in people's feeds. So, when you go on Facebook and you're scrolling and you see things come up, that's the feed. So when you're going through a feed and people see that pizza place or that event that I did or whatever, you're getting seen. That's exactly what people are looking for, is to be seen. And that's what I try and do with everybody I put on my page. Mm-hmm. I don't put everybody on because then my page will start to look like every other page where you scroll and it's an ad and it's another ad and it's another ad and it's another event, and I try and make it's funny, Roku has been after me for over a year now to start a show with them, a Roku channel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so, I said, "Well, what's involved?" And they said, "Well, you just need 24-hour content." I was like, "What? I can't even do an hour. Like, look, we're sitting here and it's going to be hard for me to get through an hour, kind of, maybe, I don't know, but 24 hours?
That's a lot. 24 hours is a lot.
So they said, "Well, you can loop it and you can do reruns and all this," and I guess, I guess I could, but I feel like you need a buildup of a lot of content before you can start going into reruns and stuff. So I'm trying to get that going together, and of course I'm not backed by anybody is the other thing. The city doesn't pay me to do what I do.
Yeah.
And
boy, oh boy.
And I cover hundreds of things, and
I know. There's no reason. The money is there. Don't tell me it's not.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
They just went through their budget review and all of that, and I know there's an increase coming here in the Falls of almost 4%. Meanwhile, a city like St. Catharines, which doesn't get $20 million from the government, 1.49. That's going to be their tax increase.
Well, I heard we're having a second residential tax increase in 2 years here in Niagara Falls, so that's disturbing, and it's high. What was it? I don't quote me, but it's somewhere around 12 or something percent, or 10%, or to hear that there's a second tax increase in less than 2 years on the residents here that are struggling and living paycheck to paycheck, and like I said, I mean, fine dining, who can afford to go eat out at $200 for dinner for two? With your taxes, tip, if you're going to a nicer place, that's what you're looking at, and I just don't think it's there. I don't think a lot of people can afford to do it, including myself. I mean, I could if I really wanted to, but is that where I want to throw my money down?
Like I said, I'd rather go to the pub, or even just go out for a nice breakfast, at a mom and pop place. Not the big, franchises and all of that. There's a few good ones. Like I know Stacked is a good one. There's a couple here in the Falls. But I prefer to go like a breakfast barn type of thing for breakfast, just because, you're going to get a great breakfast for a really good price.
There's some great places, there's no doubt. Stacked is good. Stacked is one of my VIPs in St. Catharines, actually.
Yeah. I thought I'd throw that out there.
What's the breakfast place in Fonthill? It's a Sunday brunch. Oh my gosh.
On 20 there?
Yeah.
Can't think of it. Anybody still there? Yeah, they're still there, but... Dominic's? Is it Dominic's?
No. It's a Sunday brunch place. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't. Anyways, they have an amazing Sunday brunch. That place, they're on my page, by the way. You hashtag on my page or look up Sunday brunch. Yes, a lot of people don't even know how to use these big pages sometimes. It's weird. But if you go on my page, let's say you want to look up Sunday brunch. Yeah. You just go on to Niagara Things To Do. There's a search bar on the top and type in Sunday brunch. And then if I did a Sunday brunch place, it'll come up, exactly. So I think they only think about doing searches within Google and stuff like that, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But if it's something in the Falls that you're interested in, or you want to know if it's been covered, or if there's photos or videos, so you get a better idea of it, and that's kind of what I do, and which is what makes it different. It's not just photos; it's a video. It's a lot of times showing you the owner of the establishment. Probably 20 to 40 pictures of what they got, or what the highlights are, and it's a different way of being seen. You can't see that in the newspaper,
right?
Unfortunately, you can't see that even on radio. Where it's a visual sometimes that they need to see the visuals, right?
Yeah.
For me, with food, if I don't see a good picture of that food, chances are I probably won't even go there, because you can tell me you got the best butter chicken going, but if I want to see a picture of it...
You know what? I just mentioned that to my wife the other day. Yesterday we were talking about the fact that you eat with your eyes, too.
Yes.
Right?
You do.
You eat with your eyes.
Yeah. It's a visual thing. So, yeah, that's one thing that I do like to do, is show the foods in a different way, and you're actually seeing what you get when you go to these places. And I tried to cut away from the foodie vlogs a little bit, like I said, because of the weight gain. So then I segued more into doing activities, adventures. I consider myself an adventurist.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what kind of adventures?
Well, I've done them all. I've pretty much done them all.
I saw the zipline video.
Did you?
Yes.
Did you zipline?
I did creep your pages, by the way. I did creep your pages a little bit.
That's
I mean, there's a lot to look at.
Of course, I
just kind of plucked a couple of things out of there. So.
Yeah. So would you zipline?
Would I? Hell yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah?
For sure.
Have you done it?
I have not.
Oh,
but,
okay.
Yeah, we need to take a day, because we've got, I still have tickets to get under the falls there, and so we should really make a day, my wife and I, just come out and bring the boys and their wives and just go do it. All of that stuff along there one day. But I haven't done it yet, no. One thing I won't do is skydiving. I won't do that.
You got me there. That's the one thing, too. And I was about to go and see if I can line it up. And was it Burnaby?
Burnaby.
Burnaby.
Yes.
Louis Vuitton area.
Yeah.
Burberry, Louis Vuitton area. Yes,
I know you're sliding back. So am I, actually.
You know what? Yeah, because I'm on a downhill on this little. It feels like the floor goes down. I'm rolling.
What do you want to make sure you're in the screen here? I mean, people want to see you. They don't want to see me.
Oh, look at but I hate being the forefront person because then you always look like you're twice as big.
Oh,
you know, just rig this up. Hey, it's a woman's thing.
I'm only half the man I used to be, so.
You know what?
The man I used to be.
Hey, anytime if you want to talk about any of that, I would love to talk about that.
We're not here to talk about me.
I
If
know.
you have
I
me
know.
on your show, then we could talk about it.
All right, cool.
Everybody who's watching right now knows my story. Billy and Ken and Tim, and they all know it.
Your people know your story. My people don't know your story.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, so.
Let's just say I got very ill. I got very lucky, and I had some major surgery and had some organs removed, and I ended up losing a lot of weight. They took 2/3 of my stomach out on top of everything else. So I started out coming out of the hospital. I could only eat like a little portion like this, and that was it. Well, it's stretched and everything's better now. I've put on about 20 pounds, so I'm back to right where I want to be. I'm very lucky to be here, extremely lucky, and being able to sit and chat with somebody like you on a show that I never thought I'd be doing. It's just amazing. So.
Well, I'm glad you're here. I mean, that story is probably book worthy. Not probably. You should write a book.
You're not the first one to recommend that, and I do want to give a shout out if Ken is still listening, because I had 2 people when I was really sick that helped out and did some charity work for me to raise some money, because it's not cheap to go back and forth. We were at Juravinsky, so back and forth, parking, gas, all the extra medical equipment and everything else that I needed. And Ken McCarran and Chico Sanchez were, without even anybody saying anything or asking, or they just did it out of the goodness of their hearts. And I'm eternally grateful to them for that. And of course, everybody else who supported me. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I can feel like tears almost.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah. I know. I'm a big softie. I'm just like, oh gosh. I know. But anyway, so lucky, very lucky, and I'm stronger and better than ever now, and very, very happy to be able to, like I say, sit and do stuff like this and be able to go out there and play my music and all the other things that I do. So I really appreciate that.
Blessed. A lot of people go through one removal of something and then that's it. To have several and to be able to talk about it and to be sitting here and doing what you do, I mean, I commend you, and Godspeed and everything that is happening for you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I appreciate it. And we are getting close here. It's already at 48 minutes, just so you know. I'll give you a little heads up.
What?
I know. Didn't that happen when we were on the phone? We're talking, and I look, I'm like, holy, what the? We're at like 52 minutes here.
How does that happen?
It just happens.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
Where are you going after this? Don't tell people your exact location, but what do you have going on for the rest of the day?
Well, I'm not too sure. I always look at the weather and I think, is it, going to be decent to do something? There's always Niagara Things To Do, by the way. # Niagara Things To Do. But I don't, I try and get out as much as I can. I try and show as much as I can. And, a lot of times I'm just home with my fur babies and doing my thing at home and relaxing and building up. I have something really cool coming up. Was supposed to be my opener, by the way. My motto this year is "Eye of the Tiger."
Oh.
Cue in the song.
Yes, I wish I could do that.
Yeah,
I probably could if I do a search on the Apple playlist here. I could probably find it.
Oh, well, let's end the show with that. Eye of the Tiger, guys. # Eye of the Tiger. And the reason, every year I try and have a different theme or motto, and last year was "Don't Stop Believing."
Okay.
Cue in, "Don't Stop Believing." Yeah, I always try and pick a motto that kind of has a good song that motivates me at the same time. I'm leaving some DNA behind here. It looks
all good.
Yeah, so, and of course, Sia's Untouchable was my other theme. So, Unstoppable. Unstoppable. Yeah, love that song. So this year it's Eye of the Tiger. And I go to these masterminds, Tony Robbins and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I mean, I only go to the free ones. 'Cause I don't know if you know that, but Tony Robbins and a lot of these masterminds, they'll do like a 3-day free seminar. Say that quickly.
3-day, what?
3-day free seminar.
3-day free seminar, yeah.
Yeah. And you could do it for 3 days for free, as opposed to paying thousands to go to, you know, their mastermind classes. If you were to go through a company, I think he was charging $10,000 at one point. Now he's down to doing some days free.
Oh, nice.
But it happens once a year. And I really highly recommend these things. Not, you know, like I say, squeeze by, because of course they're going to try and upsell you at some point within those seminars. But what you gain from it, and the motivation and the kickstart it gives you, and he's always hype. And you know, I used to watch him years ago, you know, on a VHS tape.
Oh, I still have a bunch of those. I do. I still have a player that works too.
We should have brought all these things with us and put them up as props.
We'll know for next time.
Yeah,
we'll know for next time.
VHS tape. The kids will be like, I don't know what that is. She's got some sort of teleportation device there.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't even go to my cheat sheet.
I was going to ask you a while ago.
What the heck?
I was going to ask you a while ago.
Oh my God! What
Hey,
do I
Walter.
need to say? Hey, what do we need to talk about? By the way, I also am an antiques dealer, antiques and collectibles dealer, and that's what I've done way before I even got into all this. So if anyone's looking for antiques or collectibles, give me a shout at the Boss.VIP or hey, anywhere. DM me.
Really?
Yeah.
My
so I
wife
have,
is going to want to know that.
I have man cave stuff. I have jewelry stuff. If you look on my page right now on Marketplace, probably have 150 things listed right now, and then I have a warehouse of stuff. And because I was a casting agent, I also used to supply film companies film props. So when I was in Toronto, they'd say, hey, you know, we're going to do a room that's 1960s room. Do you have furniture or lamps, or what do you have to make this room? And I'd show them stuff and send them pictures, and then they'd come over and they'd buy a whole bunch of stuff and lay out a bunch of cash, and all was good. Now,
Yeah.
production and film production and all that, ever since COVID, everything has really
Oh
changed everything, right? So
It's never going to be the same. It's
No.
never going to be the same.
No,
We're going to
absolutely.
stir up the Hungarian hillbilly here now, because I'm sure he's going to tune in on that. But yeah, it's been crazy.
the Hungarian hillbilly.
Billy, yeah, he's the
Okay.
original Hungarian hillbilly. He's been on listening and watching. So
All right.
yeah, so I'm sure he'll have a comment about that.
I mean, I'd love to go down that road with you at maybe another time, another hour. But I mean, we could do all kinds of, you know,
Oh, yeah.
controversial stuff right now. I'm supposed, you know, but it is morning, and I'm just getting up. And before I get into all that, you know, I
Yeah.
totally listen to Joe Rogan. I want to be the female Joe Rogan,
Yeah.
by the way. So
Yeah.
that's I mentioned that too in our conversation. I'm all about it, guys, and of course with Facebook and censors, and you got to watch everything you say and everything you do. If you want to maintain a page or a following or not get blocked or not get censored, you got to watch everything you say, everything you do, everything you put out there. And meanwhile, I say that, and I see all kinds of people in my feed saying, I'm in jail, I'm in Facebook jail, and I always laugh when I see it. But meanwhile, I'm flipping through the feed, and I see people, F-bombs
Yeah,
are
I
dropping
know.
left, right, and center, pornographic images are coming up, like,
How's that stuff getting through? And meanwhile, you
Yeah.
can't even, you know.
if you say, I don't know, apparently you say the wrong words, and there are key words,
Yeah.
that'll immediately, right now, I see that we're still live, and I can't believe it, but obviously we're being good boys and girls in the playground right now, because Facebook hasn't shut us down yet, but there are apparently words and phrases and stuff that if you say it, they'll immediately shut down the live. They'll take, put a, like a black mark or a ban
You get a red flag on your.
on your account, yes. So, I'd love to say all kinds of stuff, and I don't know how Joe Rogan and all these guys do it, and I think it's only because their following is so big, and they're obviously making multi-millions at what they do, so they give them the pass, they get the hall pass, so to speak, right? And,
Well, we're lucky here. This is internet radio, so while we may get shut off there, they can't shut us off here. So that's kind of cool. One of the cool things about being able to do something at this studio, or at an internet radio studio in general,
What do you think of that? Let's just swing that to you for a second. What do you think of that, the whole censorship on radio and TV in Canada?
Well, it's censorship. Plain and simple. Again,
Like for news, we can't even get the news.
I know. You try and which I don't understand.
How does this happen?
I don't understand that, because even at first, what they did was they made it so that you had to subscribe. You could only read like 3 articles, and after that, you have to subscribe in order to be able to even read the articles. But you can't even. So you could go to the CBC or Global or anything like that, and you would be able to at least read that information. But you can't even post that. If you try and post a news article now, that's censorship. Plain and simple, it's censorship, and it's the government making that happen. And do I think it's right? No. I ended up just recently, because I was getting involved with the homeless situation, in the emergency shelter there. I actually just recently subscribed to Metro so that I can read the articles. It's $24 a year or something. So I got it 1 year because I'm interested in that stuff, and it's the only way for me to get that local information. Otherwise, I can't get it, and it's not right.
But even if you are getting that information, is it biased? Is it real? Is it? I mean,
well, because there are still reporters out there who go to the meetings and then they report what they supposedly hear.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? And you can't see. I mean, Facebook and social media is great. Don't get me wrong, but it's also created a group or a society out there of people who just are just not willing to understand, or they're posting stuff that makes no sense. It's called the automatic auto share. Oh, what? You read it on the internet? You saw it in a meme? Oh my God! You need to see this. What?
mm-hmm.
Is that where you're getting your news from? People are getting their news now from memes, YouTube videos that creators make. That who knows?
Yeah, but they haven't left us a choice, right? If they censor everything, you can't see any news, then you're going to rely on these poor sources.
Do it sensibly. Do it reasonably, right? I mean, when you look at a picture of the moon in the cloud or the sun in the clouds and say, "Well, see, the sun is right there in the clouds." No, it's not. It's just simply not. Okay, but people will actually look at that and go, "Oh yeah, it is."
Yeah.
And away we go.
What sun? We haven't had sun in months. Months.
Yeah.
Is this month 4 with no sun? 3? I don't know.
Yeah, that's another subject too.
Yeah, like I said, we could go down all kinds of rabbit holes.
We were talking about what you have coming up, because we do have to finish. So
okay.
Let's. And by the way, before you do that, Paul K. Lemire is coming in at noon today. He's got a show here every day during the week, so make sure you tune in for that. And I'm going to be at the recording studio with Matt Keegan this Saturday, recording a couple of songs. So that's where I am this weekend. And where are you? That's what we were talking about. We were talking about you, because it's you. This is all about you.
Wow, it's so weird. Yeah, I mean, talk about it's all about you. It's so weird, right? I don't know. I'm so uncomfortable with it sometimes. It feels like it forces you to be this narcissist that you don't want to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm so shy about all that, and I'm grateful for everything that's happening, of course. But it's so weird at the same time, right? Being in that position when I wasn't on the internet for years and had no idea what all this stuff was about. Now you're kind of just thrown into it, and it's full force, and it's at you, and it's like, you know what? I'm all about it though. I want to continue. I want to start my own podcast, as I mentioned to you. I'm really excited. I hope we can all hopefully.
Well, we are. We're working on possibly something. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So if that happens, that would be amazing to me. I'm looking to get some big sponsors. I do have my VIPs, but I'm also looking to get some big sponsors. Take this to the next level. That's what my whole Eye of the Tiger theme is about this year, is focus on something, look at it, and like a tiger, what does a tiger do? They look at something, they focus on it, they strategize, and they prance on it. They go for what they want. And that's what I feel like I want to do. It's not a New Year's resolution. It's about all year long keeping your focus, going for it, aim for something, and go for it. Don't let anything hold you back. Don't let anyone tell you you can't do it. Just go for it. Do
Absolutely.
it. All they can do is say no, and all you can do is fall and get back up and go again. A tiger doesn't lay down after it gets hit or after it tumbles. It gets right back up and starts running for the next thing.
Exactly.
Keep your focus and just go for it. And we are going through such crappy times right now, and everybody knows that. But if you fall down that hole and you start getting depressed and thinking, oh my God, oh this is bad, oh woe is me, oh no, you can see that that's exactly where your focus will stay.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be in that depressed mode, and you won't be able to shoot for those things or go for those things. Not everything is going to be all honky-dory. I mean, my car got written off a couple months ago. I didn't even know, if you can't find the person, you can't get your car covered and all this. It's a long story, but anyways, people are going through so much stuff right now, right?
Yes.
And they always do. But like I say, keep your chin up, keep your eye on the prize, and just keep moving forward, because moving backwards not an option anymore. Our city, everybody in general, our families, our health, everything has taken a toll, and right now you got to stay as strong as you can, and this is really crucial for people. I'm hearing so many people are sad, depressed. The drugs in certain parts of the city are obviously bad, but that doesn't speak for everybody, and it doesn't speak for every business, and it doesn't speak for every person.
Absolutely.
We are all going through something, and I like to say it's part of the big test. And as a famous comedian once said, it's a big club, and you're not in it. And if you're not in the club, then figure out a way to start your own little club. Figure out a way to look outside of the box and stop thinking about only the negative stuff. We can all go down negative alley forever, and I do that on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But then I try and pull myself back, and
pull
I
yourself
go,
back, and
what's good?
Like you say,
What's good?
You gotta go for it.
Yeah.
And we are out of time. So again, I want to thank our sponsors, Peter Piper's Pump House and Fawn Hill Party Supply in Fawn Hill. And I want to thank you for being on the show. The time went like that. And keep an eye out in the next little bit. I'm working on, I did a podcast with Bob Wagner last week, who's a phenomenal artist, singer, songwriter, etc. And I'm working on piecing all that together. And we'll have this together as well. And we'll get it up on our sites. And thank you for coming out.
Oh, thank you for
having me. I appreciate it. If you ever do decide that you want to start some merch, I will take a hat.
Will
okay?
you?
Yeah.
That's the other thing. People always say, "Why the boss?" Listen, when I've always had businesses. I'll keep it quick. And people always used to say, "Well, it was a big ticket item. Who's the boss?" And of course, everyone would go, "She's right there." And then they'd come up and go, "You're the boss?" And yes, I am. So don't think that women can't be bosses. I hate to say that around Italian guys. I make that joke all the time, but hey, women can be bosses. 76% of my followers actually are women, apparently. So that's actually really cool, and I think they get the message. So I love it. Thank you for having me, Rob. This has been a treat. I love it. An hour has flown by.
It has. Thank you
can't wait to
again.
see the playback.
And folks, don't forget, Paul King and me are coming up in just about 15 minutes. So stick around. And thank you to the Boss.VIP. And take care, folks. Have a great weekend. Thank you guys for listening as well.